Morning, everyone. It's Thursday, October the 12th. Heading to the pretty part of the mountain, so I thought I'd chime in and do another short video up the second half of the climb. And periodically, I'll give you a little glance back. I'm about halfway up at this point. So, this video, I wanted to talk about my 10 months here coming up in the next 2 days. I'll be 10 months in the Philippines. Here comes a vehicle. So I always point the camera down a lot. So there. And so being 10 months, I talked about various things each month, and I'm starting to separate the videos. I think this month, what I don't hear a lot about, which I have found to have how important it is here in the Philippines. So people talk about money and nice thing, traveling or this and that. But I want to speak about the culture over here. So now this may not be gospel. This is just things I've heard, things I've maybe personally experienced, or things I've heard other people experience. So, and one of them is, it's no particular order, but recently I just watched a video on YouTube and talked to somebody about, people would get a rush and meet somebody nice over here, and he's got some money and she's a beautiful Filipina, and they, run out and get married. And then what I've uncovered the past few months I've been living here is, well, you really at this point can't get a divorce as you might know it in America or something, which is where I'm from. So that's my experience is America, Ohio, and the Philippines, and Visayas, Iloilo Island. So that's where I've at and come to. So all my knowledge and thoughts are based around that. So you come here and you rush to get married because she's in love and she's beautiful and you've got money, and of course things are wonderful. But a few months later you find out, well, it's not so wonderful because you've hurried into it. Now you want to get a divorce, and you think it's going to be like your country. Well, what happens, what I've heard here is that you have to get an annulment, and that annulment can take minimally, I heard this from an attorney over here, 3.5 years is the quickest annulment or / divorce that she's ever done, that she's aware of. 3.5 years to get one. And that's the short end. And she said, I've seen them go up to 10 years to get one. So think about that long and hard before you rush to get married. And be aware of that. All these things are not to say don't do or to do. It's just, I want to leave you with a question so you think and are aware of these things. So the culture over here is much different. It's like, I've already talked about this several times, but I'll talk about it again. Bought a motorcycle here in March, paid cash, Rusi, local motorcycle dealer, distributor, or whatever, big, one of the top brands here in the Philippines as far as quantity. And I, buy it, and I'm getting, well, what about licensing it and insuring it and doing all these different things? After I purchase it, I find out, well, insurance takes, I'll just come over here in the shade a minute and talk a few minutes because it's a beautiful view as well. Insurance takes, or not insurance, but registration takes, they tell me 3 to 6 months roughly. I'm walking the dog here, so pardon me, I gotta stand on the cord so don't run away. And I go, okay, that's kind of long. I said, what do I do with my bike in the meantime? Well, it's illegal, and you just take your chances, and most people just ride it locally and they're fine. But I could get pulled over anywhere and ticketed and in trouble from it. So about 6 months later today, I still don't have a registration or license plate on my vehicle. I don't even have my license here. So that's another, issue. Then since over the last 10 months of being here, I talked to several locals because I'm making friends as I go along. And they say, Terry or Uncle or different names. They call me Joe. They go, you don't understand. I'm local here. I waited 5 years to get my registration. So the reason I'm not saying these things, it's not to, badmouth the government or the Philippines. It's to let you know. My point is, you're not in Ohio, you're not in France, you're not in Germany. You're in the Philippines, and this is the way it works, and be aware of that. So I'll continue my journey up there so I can change the view. So keep that in mind when you come. It's just a different world. Things that cost, the way it operates. People are very friendly and hospitable here, but in doing that, a lot of people say, at least my experience and what I've heard is, yes, because people don't like to say no too much. They want to be friendly and they want to be knowledgeable. But a lot of people are just, doing that to be hospitable. It's not that they're wanting to be mean or nothing, but they don't come out and speak their mind as much as we do, like in America. If you come up to me and said, we're such and such a place, or what do? I may say, I don't know, I can't help you, because I don't know. And here most people will say, hey, morning. Most people will say, oh, it's up the road, or I know. And you go up the road and there's nothing up the road. So that's another thing to be careful, think about. So just everything you do, buying land here, for example, there are loopholes and things you can do. You can do it like a 25-year lease. But generally speaking, you run out and you buy a business or a piece of land. Again, you're the American, you got a few bucks. It costs a couple million pesos, which is $40,000 roughly. And then something happens with a family member, a bad fallout relationship, whatever. Well, you just lost over 1 million pesos because you can only own 40%. So you've lost 60% of your investment. So that's where things can take a turn very quickly. And of course, people forget, anytime you're giving money and helping people and you're buying a store and you're giving them money for medical expenses, people are wonderful. But when you say, I can't do that because a lot of us aren't rich, well, then you get to see a different side of people. So be careful with that. So my overall advice is to, definitely come over. Philippines is a beautiful country with beautiful people. But learn the customs, learn the culture, and don't rush into relationships. Don't rush into businesses. I don't care how smart you are and what you did in America. Rules and the game is different here. Hey! So I would contact an attorney and not, and be aware of what can own what, who can own what. Many people have a land here and there may be 12 owners to a piece of land. There may not be a right-of-way to it. There may be trees or something on that land. You're thinking you bought the land. Well, you don't own all these coconut trees or something, which you thought was why you're buying it, because the guy over across the street planted them. But he's the owner of the trees, even though you own the land. So take your time. I would recommend a minimum of a year, up to 2 or 3 years to get settled in. Rent, don't buy. Get to know the person you're with a while. Get to know the town, the neighborhood, whether you like it there. And after 1, 2, 3 years, you say, just love it here and this is great, then go ahead, get married, buy that land, start that business potentially. But just take your time. And remember, even though you may be considered a rich foreigner, there's many broke foreigners going home or over here broke. So just be careful. That's all I got to say. Just use your brain and enjoy, because it is truly a beautiful country and beautiful people. And some of the most beautiful women in the world live in the Philippines. So I'm a little partial because that's my take on it. So, but with that note, we'll let you go. We're up on top of the mountain and over to the workers. So we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care and be safe. And be smart.